Hey guys, in today's video I'll be showing you some of my process in studying for psychology. The class that I'm currently taking is General Psychology, which is a semester-long introduction to psychology. It's a community college class that's taught at my high school by professors from my local community college. So it counts as dual enrollment, meaning I get elective credits for high school graduation, along with an actual credit in this particular class as a unit for college, which is very handy since it's free since I'm in high school and it's a partnership between my local school and my high school, so I can get a college credit out of the way without having to pay a lot for tuition, so that's a win in my book. And it's giving me kind of an idea of what I can expect out of college classes because the lectures, the assignments, the assessments are all the same as they would be if it was literally taught at a college. But instead it's just more convenient because it's at my high school during my school hours. Anyways, while I've been blathering on for the last minute, you've been watching me write notes in this notebook. I take all of my lecture notes in this notebook, and as you can probably guess from the name lecture notes, these are meant to be notes that I take during lectures in class, and that's when I do take pretty much all of my lecture notes. But on this particular day, I left my notebook at home on accident, so I typed all of the information onto a Google Doc, and now I'm just copying it back in to my notebook. I like having all of the information in one central location that I know I can just refer to this for everything, which is pretty much the only reason I'm bothering to do this. Otherwise, I would almost never rewrite my notes. I know if you've watched my videos at all, you've probably heard me say this a million times, but to go over this again for any newer viewers, I don't think rewriting notes is a very effective studying method because it's very passive, you're just copying things over. The only exception would be if you're actively reorganizing the material or synthesizing it with a different source. Otherwise, your time is much better spent on an active studying method, one of which I will go over later in this video. Basically, the difference between active and passive studying is in active studying, you are engaging with the material and actually thinking about it instead of just reading it or just simply transcribing words from one page to another. You actually have to think about something for your brain to process it and for it to get cemented in your memory. So that's why I would recommend doing that instead, because as a student you have very limited time. So obviously you want to be as efficient as possible with that time that you do have. As I'm wrapping up, I just wanted to mention that the note-taking method I'm using is quite simple, with just headers and then bullet points underneath with a couple of sub-bullets. Now moving on to a better studying technique that I would recommend far more than rewriting notes. Right now I'm making a Quizlet flashcard set. I know my screen is in French because I set my phone language to French, and for some reason Quizlet Desktop has also decided that everything should be in French, but I'm not going to complain because it's a great way to review the language that I'm learning. Anyways, for each of the terms that I type in, I find it really handy that Quizlet also has this drop-down menu where you can just pick a pre-selected response that comes from something that someone else has written. It's really helpful to get additional information or just use it for myself or use it as a template for what I'm going to type in, and it saves a lot of time. I also recommend using that image feature to put in diagrams. I especially find it helpful that Quizlet has its own built-in image search system. I know this just sounds like a giant Quizlet ad. I like this website. I would recommend it. Now that I've skipped through a good portion of flashcard making because it's not that interesting, I'm moving on to my review of the flashcards. For this first portion, I'm using the Learn feature on Quizlet, which shows you each word 2 times in different formats, one with multiple choice answers and the other where you just type it in yourself. So far for this class, I found reviewing vocab to be the most effective method for me, so that's pretty much all I'm doing so far. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more of my Study With Me videos, I will link them on screen and in the description. I upload new videos every Monday, and my Instagram @studyquill is where I post photos of my notes and bullet journal. See you next time!